If you're a home service contractor, you might be wondering, is it worth your time to grow a YouTube channel? Well, this is a story about how we took our local service brand to over 1,000 subscribers and how it skyrocketed our marketing and changed our business for the better. So it all started back in 2022, 2023. We started realizing we should start taking YouTube seriously. We kept hearing people beating the drum. I'm sure if you've heard people like Gary Vaynerchuk.
Attention is the #1 asset.
They talk nothing but content. And so we started realizing, okay, we need to start pouring some time investment into this. So 2022, 2023, we probably had around 100 subscribers in that first year that we started. The thing about our content strategy is that we didn't have one. It was random acts of content. I had technicians out in the field who would send me a 15-minute video of them installing a thermostat. Or I would have one of our sales guys actually crawling through a tight attic space and sending me their footage.
Oh, shit. We're okay, nothing broken. That was just a loud pop.
Once I got that footage, I then would edit it, I'd put it out, I'd feel great about our life, but it was short-lived. And I didn't really understand the impact of why those videos mattered. How exactly did we go from a measly 50 to 100 subscribers all the way to 1,000? Here's really what changed. We created a system where I was actually going out, following our technicians, hovering over their shoulders, watching them replace parts on AC systems, asking them simple questions like, you're replacing a capacitor. How often do those things break? Why do they break? How much do they cost? I was hitting the pain points of what our customers were already asking. So YouTube became a lot more simplified whenever I started treating it like Google. People use Google to search for services, but also ask for information about how much something's going to cost them. You can use YouTube in this same exact way. So I would say our content strategy kind of dialed in when we started realizing oh, we should take the most common questions that our customers are asking us and we should answer them.
Looking at replacing the dual capacitor, you're looking at $198 to replace it.
And it turns out we had a ridiculous knowledge base here at Yarbrough & Sons to be able to answer all these questions about our plumbing, our water heaters, our HVAC systems. We started realizing that we could be filling a lot of gaps in information. We could be answering our customers' most popular questions with the content that we're creating. And that's whenever we developed our 3 E's: educate, entertain, and engage. Every piece of content that we started making had to fit one of those E's. Easiest way to do that was actually talking about the pain points that customers face, the things that they're actively searching for. How much does it cost to replace a capacitor? How much is a compressor? Is it worth repairing or replacing? Answering these most common questions that you've been hearing your entire career as an HVAC contractor is the bread and butter of your content. A lot of content marketing is just a value exchange. I'm giving you the utmost information about this topic so that whenever it's time for me to ask, it's a lot easier for you to reciprocate that, right? So if I've been here for the last 2 years telling you, pounding the drum, get maintenance. AC maintenance is important. Here's how you can do it yourself. Call us if you need it. If I keep pushing our brand in front of you, telling you the importance of AC maintenance, you're gonna be thinking of the people who have educated you on how to do things yourself, or how much it costs to actually do a service or replace a part. There's also a little bit of hesitancy. Whenever you're giving away the farm, it feels uncomfortable. That means you're doing something right. If you are giving enough value away that you get a little nervous, you're like, oh no, if I keep making these DIY videos, I'm not gonna have any customers. They're gonna do it themselves. The bet is most of these customers are not going to do it themselves. They might start the project and then they get to a part where they feel a little uncomfortable. They might not be comfortable messing with electrical. I'm gonna give you as much information about how to do this yourself as I possibly can. And I'm willing to bet that whenever it doesn't work out for you, you're gonna call our brand and we're gonna be able to take care of you. Now, the question is why should we focus more on YouTube than other platforms, right? We have so many to focus on. We got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Why YouTube? YouTube is an interesting platform because it's several steps down from traditional TV, but it's a few steps up from social media, right? There is no other platform that has the meritocracy that YouTube has. You have to show up and bring your A game if you're going to talk about something. You have to provide a lot of value. I would say YouTube is the best platform for you to focus on because it's where content either thrives or it dies. I mean, immediately out the gate. And we see it all the time. There's still content that we're making to this day that it's either gonna flop or it's gonna do pretty good. What we noticed is whenever we started producing more content for YouTube, all of our other content started getting better. Our engagements on Facebook started rising. People started sending us messages on Instagram that actually helped inform our blogs. It helped our service pages. We started treating our YouTube videos as their own SEO content. It's a trickle-down effect. Once we started focusing on producing like higher quality, long form videos that answer great questions, fed into everything else that we were doing on social media. There are very simple things you could be doing right now. If you could go out into the field, either video yourself, video one of your technicians solving a problem for a customer. I want you to say that, hey, we were replacing an AC capacitor replacement in Norman, Oklahoma. Every time someone types in an AC service query in Norman, Oklahoma, there's a huge probability that your video is going to pop up. If you go to Google right now, you type in Yarbrough & Sons, and you hit that short videos tab, or even videos, you're going to get inundated with all of our videos and how they've been repurposed. And so that's what I'm talking about whenever we're trickling down the content from YouTube to everything else. You are dominating the local searches. If you're curious about how we're taking our long form content and cutting it up into dozens of reels, check out our tutorial on Opus Clip. It was a game changer. We gained about 500, 600 subscribers just last year just by following this process. And it was really just by having a plan. It was me meeting up with our technicians and getting the content. I had a process for how I edited it, and then I had a process for how I repurposed all that content. It just became simple math. It just became time. And a lot of times, your marketing process is an investment of either your time or your money. And so the first investment was a lot of my time just editing away and trying to make the most out of our content. But second, we started investing a little bit of our money into it. And that's whenever we got an editor. So getting an editor for our YouTube channel absolutely changed my workflow. It freed me up for hours every week to actually focus more on producing content. Let's zoom out for a second and talk about why growing your YouTube channel is the right move for you this year. This isn't just a success story for us. This will work for any contractor. Right now, if you go on TikTok and you look up HVAC or plumbing, you're gonna find contractors who are sweating and taking videos in their service van between calls talking about their day. It's as simple as that. I think the important part of starting content is not overcomplicating it. I think you just need to turn the camera on, tell a story about your day, talk about your business, tell us about your hours, what kind of calls you've been getting recently. There are very simple things you could focus on to make really good content. But I think first and foremost, I would think about the questions you get asked the most often. And if you really want to, you can ask your CSRs like, hey, what kind of questions are we getting this season? Are people having trouble with their water heaters? How are they dealing with the humidity that we're having right now? You know, I think weather feeds into a lot of our content actually. No matter what it is you're talking about, the whole purpose is to position yourself as the authority on that topic, to be the go-to brand and name that they think of whenever they're encountering an issue. So anytime you get in front of a camera and you're able to answer a question, you are establishing that authority and you are establishing that brand awareness in your local community. We also get a lot of questions about how exactly we started. I'm gonna be honest with you, we're shooting from an iPhone right now. iPhones have gotten to a place where they look great. They're a lot easier to use. Transferring files is a lot easier. So don't overthink the equipment side of it. I think you should be using your phone. So growing our YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers has funneled in a lot of attention to our other platforms. But what exactly are we doing with that attention? It's much less often I hear people talk about how to convert that attention into booked jobs for your business. That's where we come in. Taking those eyeballs and making them into a booked job or a sales lead. And GetQuote does exactly that. GetQuote's a tool that we developed ourselves by contractors for contractors just like you. No fluff, no gimmicks, just pure conversions. So whenever we're talking about content marketing, it's hard for us not to talk about what you're doing with the content. YouTube is a must for your local service brand, for your home service contractors. It's a must. It's no longer a question. It has to be part of your marketing strategy. You have to meet customers where they're already at. So here's your call to action. Start now, start small. And if you need help, we got your back. If you want weekly content tips, sign up for our newsletter. Link is down in the description. But guys, that is the story of our YouTube journey. We are sitting proudly at 1,100 subscribers this morning, so I felt like it was great that we were able to sit down and give this story. Let me know down in the comments if you're starting a YouTube channel. Let us know how it's going. We want to check out your videos, so have a great one.